We will go here. How's that? A little bit better there, I think. Okay. Let me just get everything situated. Good morning. Can you guys hear me? Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know. I always struggle with all the technology. We'll give everyone 3 minutes and then we'll get started. I know you guys are like, what? She's on time and she's set up? What madness is this? Pure sorcery. I know. Good morning, Nuala. Can you hear me? Somebody let me know that you can hear me and everything's good. That's all I need to know. Hello. Okay, excellent. All right. We're just going to let everyone trickle in. If you're not prepped, get prepped right now. So I'm going to start off with the little needle notebook. That's my favorite. This is the one that I did a little dry run last night. And so let me get back in here. Let me see if I can get it a little bit tighter. All right. Take your last sip of coffee. Let's get ready. I feel unusually prepared, which is always a scary thing. I've actually been getting some sleep this week, which is so amazing. I'm going to unplug some of these cords so I don't trip over stuff right now. I think I can unplug that one. And get this closer to me. All right. Good here. We've got a couple more minutes. We're going to start out by fusing, so just heat up your iron. Medium heat. I want you to go medium heat, not high heat. Medium heat for this, and get your clapper. If you've got a clapper, I don't care which clapper you have, get your clapper out. We're going to take out some of these. I have an example of what if you do it wrong. I have examples of that. Is this one? Yeah, this is one. This is wrong. I'll show you that. I have so many of the large. The large is not my favorite size. I don't know, it's too big to me. I don't use my size large, but you might want all your needles in one spot and you might want a size large. I mean, look, you can fit everything in here, but I am more of a medium and small. So that's why we're doing the two sizes, because it's all about me. It's all about what Jeannie likes. Good morning. Okay, it's 10:30. Let's get started. What we're doing today is we are doing needle notebook 1. There are 2 needle notebooks. We're doing the original. This is the original needle notebook. I'm still waiting for today. I should get some of the, I'm getting 8, but I know we're oversold from that 8 and I have more on order. So I've been sending out your designs for the small and the medium, and then I'll send out your redemption code when the whole thing comes in. There's not really much in here. When you get it, it's literally just going to be, so if you're good with just the redemption code, that's what I'm going to be sending you. But it's literally just this piece here, and then like a redemption code. That's all that you're going to get. So you really, I mean, I know some people like these. I keep them. I put them in alphabetical order, and when I see you have another order, I try to pop it in there, especially if you remind me. If you don't remind me, it doesn't always happen, but I'll try to put your original in there. Used to be a CD. Now it's going to be a redemption code, which I think is so much better. So, yeah. Hopefully you're here, whether you're stitching with me today or whether you're just using this as a sit and sew. I'm going to start out with the size small. We are going to put our decor bond on, and let's talk about that. So, we're going to affix decor bond. I should have 2 pieces here. And it's going to be the same size as your inside and your outside. So if you guys are ready, we're going to go ahead and get started. Needle Notebook 1, I got to say it's my favorite. I do like Needle Notebook 2. I should have brought some of those. I didn't even bring them in with me. But Needle Notebook 2 was made so it has different sizes. Like you can put your large needles, your small needles, your bigger needles. So it has a whole bunch of different sizes to accommodate all the different needle sizes. But I really like these where this one just has my regular needles. And then these have my larger size needles. And I just bump it up 3. But you're going to see like these will just fall right out. They'll just come right out. So that's why we're going to do this one. It's regular size. If you want to do this one regular size, you can do that regular size too. You do not have to make it larger. You don't have to bump it up in size. But I'm going to bump it up in size so that you can have it accommodate the larger needle sizes. Because if you look at these, you're going to see they're very different in size. One's going to be a lot bigger than the other one. And so you do have to accommodate that by increasing the size of your pattern. I did add to the supply list. So the supply list, I printed it out. Where is it? Where did I put my supply list? Well, oh, here it is. So the supply list should be on the website. Hang on, I'm just clearing something off my screen. And in the supply list, I added right here what the sizes will be because I can't remember who asked, but was it Sue, Miss Sue Summers? Because I'm on a brother machine and you guys aren't always going to be on the same machine as me, I added the sizes on the supply list, the 3 clicks. So if you go up 3 clicks, what size the outside's going to be, what size the inside's going to be. Oh, you know what I didn't add? Oh, no, that's all you needed. That's all you needed. Because I was like, what about the border, the little border strip? So if you're on a different machine, you're going to have those sizes too. And that's also on the website. I thought we were doing Needle Notebook 2. Are you sure you purchased Needle Notebook 2, Sharon? From us? Yeah, no, we're doing Needle Notebook 1. And your sizes might work too. At least if you're so you only have Needle Notebook 2. Yeah, no, we're doing the original. Is that what I sent you? Did you buy that from us? Yeah, no, this is Needle Notebook 1. This is the original. So, although I can send you a video that I did for Needle Notebook 2. But we're doing the 1. All right. They're all your sizes. So if you need that, it should be on the listing when you sign up. And then after we do this, Graydon will put this up as a free sew along, and it's going to have the supply list and all of the instructions with our modifications. All right. Yes, Michelle. So on that supply list, it'll have what size to make it bigger. And I'll call it out. I'll put this by the machine so I can let you know. And you can just do the regular size too. You do not have to blow it up. You might go, I only use Schmetz. If that's all you use, then don't increase the size. You're going to just leave the size. All right. Iron heated up, ready to go, medium heat. Clapper. You need a clapper for this. I can't tell you how frustrated I was using decor bond, but this is going to be like the perfect thickness to give your needle notebook a little bit of body. If you feel like, or if you don't have decor bond, I would just use a layer of SF101 or 2 layers. If you want to beef something up, the first time I ever used SF101 Shapeflex, it was an Amy Butler bag, and she had you put on 2 layers of SF101 to beef it up. So you could do 2 layers of SF101 in place of this if you want. Yeah, Was it a while ago, Sharon? Oh, you bought it a while ago. Yeah, we did do a class. We did do Needle Notebook 2 a while ago. So that's why you had Needle Notebook 2. Okay, so let's go ahead. I labeled mine. So I know this is going to be my outside. This is going to be my inside. Here's my band. That's self-explanatory because it's like the little itty bitty. We are doing the small size. These should be 6 inches by 8 inches if I recall correctly. I'm going to save my little labels and that's just going to help me stay organized. So go ahead and if you just remember what's what for your stuff. You want shiny side up. Shiny side up of your decor bond. You're going to put that up. We are going to put this on both the outside and the inside, your 2 larger pieces. And what you're going to do is you want a clapper. I don't care if you have like a clapper like this. I am spoiled because I do have my big old clapper. We did sell that little square one too, but I'm going to be using this clapper. Maybe you have this one. Whatever clapper you have, that's what you're going to use, and that's the secret. So you're just going to rest this on here. Just rest it on there on your wool mat, dry iron. You're not doing anything. And then you're going to put this down. It's going to trap the heat. I don't know what it is, but it makes that decor bond adhere perfectly. I've like struggled with decor bond. And if you iron it too much, it becomes a double side. It like becomes, oh, look at that. I didn't know this piece wasn't big enough. Sorry. I would have centered that. So again, you're going to put it down. Clapper. And then I'm going to put it down on the other side and clapper. Over here, just medium heat. If you have a smaller iron, you might have to do more. I was using, on the bigger one, I had to do it more. My iron does just lift off, but I don't have much room on this little ironing mat. And that's going to fuse it perfectly. It is the best. I should have gone all the way to the edge. I don't know why my piece, maybe I measured this wrong. Okay, next piece. Same thing. You want to iron also from the fabric side. Don't do it from the decor bond side, from the fabric side. So I'm going to lay this one down on here. Okay, I must have just miscut that one. I'm going to flip it. Okay. Same thing. Medium heat. I'm just going to put it here. And then clapper. And move it over. Medium heat. Clapper. Where can you get the large clapper and the rounded clapper? Do you sell these? I honestly don't know if you can get the large clapper anymore. If this one's a Riley Blake one, or it might have been, yeah, this one's Riley Blake. So, but she stopped making them. They were super expensive. And then I sold there was a Main Street one that I was selling that was like much cheaper. I'll see if I can get the big one again. And then clapper. That's so easy. I tried pressing from the back, from the front, like just trying to get it perfect. That is the best way to get your decor bond on there perfectly fused. We're going to do both of them. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to do the small and we're going to do the large right now. So we have that out of the way. So, or not the large, but your medium size. So go ahead and grab your medium size. So I'm going to grab my fabric. And while you're thinking of it, go ahead and just put your, if you have them marked, I'm going to put this back on here. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side. We're going to get our other one. We're going to do all our fusing right now. Any questions? Anyone need help? Have the wool roll. Where can you get, okay, sorry, just reading your notes. Let me get my other grouping. This is the size medium, okay? So again, here's my band. I'm going to pull that to the side, outside, inside. Okay, and I have larger pieces of decor bond for this. Nope, that is not it. Mine's right here. All right, here we go. Same thing, shiny side up, shiny side to the wrong side of your fabric. Make sure there's no threads in here that are going to get sandwiched. Just make sure it's centered. Like my last one. I cut that one piece wrong. Sorry. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. This is going to take longer because this is bigger. And you could do this in sections too where you use your other clapper. If you have a small clapper, don't worry about it, but you're still going to do the same thing. For a second I got worried that I was maybe I'll go this way. I'm just going to go all the way across. And you could heat press it, right? Some of you putting it in your heat press. Oop. If you're using your heat press, what's your perfect temperature for heat and bond light? I should go this way. Oh, didn't quite adhere right there. Yeah, you don't want any bubbles and you want to make sure it's totally adhered. I'm going to do my next one. Note to self, have bigger wool mat. Oh, hello. This one has connectors, but I'm not going to connect it right now. We'll go ahead and just do it like this. Here we go. Okay, shiny side to the wrong side of your fabric. The actual stitch out is so fast. $3.15 on the heat press. Or $3.20. It looks like Karen does hers at $3.20. Do you use the press much for these types of press? You know what? I should, right? Because I'm sure in the heat press, it's just perfect. You're just doing it at $3.20 and it's coming out perfect. $3.15 or $3.20. So, you know what I should do is I should bring my other heat press here to the store. And then we'll just do it in there because you guys are sitting there like, why are we waiting? Why didn't she use her heat press? I know. Because yeah. You know when you're not used to using it, and I use mine all the time for my SF101. It is my SF101 heat press. I know. $3.15 and $3.20 look like the ticket. How much time are you guys doing? We'll have to add that. Okay, perfect. You just don't want bubbles and wrinkles, and that is perfectly adhered. We are not done yet, though. So grab your two pieces. And actually, I adhered some other ones. I think I made this the outside. And I made this the inside. But I did these last night, too. So I might use this. I have a couple of choices. Okay? So I'm going to put these to the side. We are going to get your band. So I want you to get your band now. I actually have two. So I'm going to choose from those. So get your band. I have two big and I have one small. We're going to fold that over 1 inch. I love my hot ruler. I'm going to put these over here. get organized. Here's my hot ruler. And it wants you to fold it over an inch. So if you look at your instructions, right here it says press fabric C to the wrong side by 1 inch. Okay. When I do this, I always use best press because it's going to help it fold over and be more crisp. So I usually, and you can kind of pick what side is going to be like prettier. It's going to fold over. So it'll get stitched down and fold over. So I did pick the prettier where I had more flowers on mine. So I'm going to go this way. I'm going to spray it. I like to spray it just on the edge where it's going to fold. I'm going to take my hot ruler. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull it over to 1 inch. I'll like tickle it over. This is just going to give you a crisp edge, and then you can measure it as well. And then I pull this out, and I'll give it one more press. Okay? That's just how I do it. So you're going to fold over your band 1 inch over. There we go. So I'm going to do all of these. I'm going to lay this down. Pull this back 1 inch. Oh, wrong side. I kind of just use my fingernails until it's over 1 inch. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So I had the HTV Ront, and I think it's on our affiliate link that I just got on Amazon. And I also have a Cricut. That was a gift, and I love them both. I like the HTV Ront for the size. It's 15 by 15. I love the Cricut for the way the lid lifts off entirely, which is like really, really nice too. Okay, last one. Now I have choices. What color combination I want to use. You guys recognize this fabric? It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. I think it's called Ellie. It's from Moda. I think it's a couple years old. I know I have 3. The reason I have 3 is this is for the small size, and for the medium size, I gave myself 2 choices, 2 colorways, but we're only stitching out 2, but I'll be ready to go with the other one. Okay. How's that? Oh, don't worry about this. We're going to put this on later. I found, so it says here, place a strip of steam-a-seam on the 1 inch fold. I find it's easier to put that on the very end so you're not working with it and it's twisting and turning, the paper's coming up. So we're going to do this step, but it's going to happen on the end. What if you already put it on? Don't worry about it. It'll work too. You're just going to be more mindful that it's there. Let's hoop up. Each one is going to be 2 hoopings in, I'm going to do my 5x7. I was like, today I go, oh, I'm just going to use my regular hoop today. So I'm just going to use my 5x7 hoop. This is all I used for so many years. I still love these hoops. I got to tell you, for me, I like to embroider with the regular hoops. And when I'm doing a 5x7, I usually cut my stabilizer 9 inches off a 12-inch roll. This is just a no-show mesh, a poly mesh, whatever you want to call it. Mine's already sized from me using it last night. I like to put it in, take my stabilizer, pull inward, make sure there's no bubbles. And that's what your hoop's gonna look like. What color thread? Ooh, what should I do for my outside? I'm actually going to use this one for my outside. So the first thing it's going to do is it's going to do the placement line, and then it's going to do the quilting stitch. So pick a stitch, and you don't have to, but I'm going to pick a color that's going to blend because it's just going to do straight line quilting stitch on top. So I'm going to do this color first, and then it wants you to do a color where you're going to stitch out the word needles. So I would choose a color that's going to stand out. Pull a color that's maybe in your fabric, but maybe one that you don't see a lot of. So I think I am going to go with, should I go with this for my needles? This is what I tend to choose because I like this color. But I could also, I brought this too. So I could do like, this one is ruby. It'll go right across here. I always choose this color. I'm going to go with something different. So I'm going to go ruby. I could also do this. I brought this one too. Aloe, one of my favorites. These are going to be my two colors. So yes, this is the small one. Is it the one that opens? Wait, are you talking to me? Yes, you're going to do 2 hoopings because you have 2 sides. One hooping is going to be, we're going to do this hooping first, where it's going to do the background quilting and then the needles. And then your next hooping is going to be this side where you're going to do the vinyl. Oh, you know what? Speaking of the vinyl, because our iron's heated up, let's go to a really low heat. I'm going to take my vinyl, because my vinyl is a little bit squishy looking, and I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to make it flat. And we're going to do that where we heat it up the tiniest bit, not a lot. Is this piece? I'm going to grab 2 of these. Okay, mine has like a little fold in it. You can heat your vinyl just to make it more malleable. I know Michelle, like, she'll take and just iron on her mat. I learned this from Michelle. And then she'll just lay it down on her mat. I'm often too impatient. So what I'll do is I'll just put some fabric down on top of it. I'll just put this down on top of it. And then I'll just give it a little bit. You don't want to make it too squishy and gummy, but that's enough. Just a little bit. Don't make it hot. This is on the lowest setting, and I'll just give it a little press, and it'll just soften it. We're going to do that when we turn it right side out as well. The large one, like Jeanne has. What's the question? Did I miss somebody? We need 2 hoopings of no-show mesh. Yes, we're going to do 2 hoopings. Okay, so I have my vinyl. Mine's too big. Just know that I cut mine big. I just cut it off the, is this one? This one's a little smaller. I just grabbed vinyl that I had, and I just cut it down to 1.5 inch strips. And so mine's a little bit longer because it was just, I just cut it. All right, you guys ready? All right. So you should have 2 pieces of vinyl for this. Your pieces of vinyl are going to be, for this one, 9 inches by 1.5 inches. So 9 inches by 1.5 inches. If it's too big, that's okay. You'll just cut it down. And then the last thing you're going to need for this also is you're going to need 6 inches of your fold over elastic. If you got a kit from us, then your fold over elastic is in there. I actually didn't cut mine down because I didn't have it at home this morning. So let me go ahead and just cut that really quickly. It's actually going to not have to be quite that big, but I'll just go ahead and use this is how quickly I make a mess. All right, I'm going to use pink. Here we go. Don't lose your vinyl. I'm going to put this over at the machine, and we are going to come to the machine. Let me switch us over. Here we go. Machine time. I'm going to slide my hoop on. Oops. Hang on. Should switch over, right? Should switch over. Not seeing it switch over yet. There we go. All right. right, let me grab all my goodies. Let's come on over here. You were doing the little one. Got my thread. I think I have everything. Let me see if there's any questions. I'm not seeing anything, so I'm going to come over here. There we go. Let's load up the design first. So I'm going to come into my machine. I sent these over via design database transfer. Left my thread. Let me grab those. We're going to go into embroidery. And I brought mine stuff via design database transfer. So I'm going to go to the pocket. And then I'm going to go to this option right here. I have a lot in here. I need to get rid of some stuff. But we were doing some dream panel. These are so cute, guys. This is going to be for Kimberbell's stitching hour. So much cute stuff. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the outside cover part. So the outer part. And I think it's this one. Let me go ahead and load it. And it's going to be the one that fits into your 5x7 hoop. So that's going to be it. Not changing the size. We're going to leave it exactly the way it is. So let's just go ahead and set it. I always like to choose my hoop size. So I'm going to go to my settings button and I'm going to choose my 5x7 hoop. It's just a good habit. And that way you know how much space you have, how much embroidery space you have in case you want to move something. I cut my stabilizer to size. So I'm just going to leave it exactly where it is. And I'm just going to touch embroidery. On this screen, I usually come down here. This is where you can go forward and backward stitches in case I need to back up or go forward. And I'm going to go ahead and just put in this thread. This is going to be for my background quilting. Let me go ahead and thread up. Oh, look, I don't even have my thread stand on here. Let me grab that. Whoop. I love the thread stand for the, this is the thread stand for the, what should we call it? For the Avenir and the Luminaire. It's so nice. Let me go ahead and just put this up really quickly. It's nice because, like the Destiny and the Dream Machine, it had all the moving parts. And this one just gets magnetized to the top. So let's thread up. You're putting in the color that you want for the quilting. First thing it's going to do, though, it's going to do a placement stitch. So we can lay down the outside. You need to remember what side is the outside. Okay, I'm going to grab mine so you can see this. I'm going to put this down. I want you to choose. So this is going to be the outside of mine. What I want you to choose is it's going to stitch out the word needles. Okay. So if you have directional fabric, I would put the direction of the fabric. You can have them go in line with the needles, or you could have it go this way, where you look at it and this is the right direction, or this direction. Just make sure you don't put it upside down. You don't want it upside down. And we're going to be stitching out this part right now. So do you want your needles to stitch out here on your fabric, or if you turn it around, do you want to stitch out here? It's going to be up a little bit. It's not going to be all the way down at the very bottom. So it's going to be right about here. So look at your fabric, choose which direction you want it to go on. I'm going to have it stitched this way where my needles is right about here. First thing it wants to do is it wants to do a placement stitch for this fabric. So just go ahead, if you're threaded up, do your placement stitch. I'm not even going to spray. You know me, I love to spray, but I'm not even going to spray for this part. I'm just going to lay it down. How are we doing? Any questions? We're doing the small. We are doing the small one first. We pressed for everything, but we're doing the small. So there's my placement stitch. I didn't even spray it. This is because you have the decor bond on it. It's pretty beefy. If you want to give it a shot of spray, if you want to tape it down, you can. You're just going to lay it down here. Make sure you pull this back a little bit and you check to just to make sure that that you're covering over the placement stitch. Because my decor bond isn't over here all the way to the right, I'm going to just scoot it over the tiniest bit because you have room. And then I'm going to fold it back this way too. I'm going to scoot them down, and then that looks good to me. I'm going to get my little holder downer, and I'm going to go ahead and just do the tack down right now. But if your decor bond is on there and centered, you're probably just going to center right to the hoop. Where did you find yours? I'm having trouble. What are you having trouble finding? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stitch this down. This is going to be my tack down. Where did you, I'm not sure what you're asking about. The design? Are you asking where the design is? You should have, I sent you the design, Trish. I sent you an email on this weekend. And it's doing the quilting stitch too. Look in your email and find your email from me. So it's gonna just do the quilting design. And if you can't find it now, you're gonna get this recording, and just make sure you're all set for needle notebook for the second one, for the size medium. Oh, your Cricut heat press. Directly from Cricut. Mine was a gift. But directly from Cricut, I think those are probably the best prices. But I'm not sure. Okay, and now it wants to stitch out the word needles. So whatever color you're putting in to stitch that out, I'm going to do mine with ruby. Should I do it with ruby? Yeah, I think that's going to be beautiful. Okay, let me go ahead and take this thread out. How are we doing? Anyone have any questions? Can I help you? We are doing the size small. We just did the outside. This is the outside of your needle notebook. What if you put down the wrong fabric? It's okay. Just do make your outside your inside. It's still going to be adorable. I'm going to put my ruby in, and we're going to stitch the word needles. Okay, here we go. And then guess what? That's done. Top is going to be done. You're going to need a ruler because we're going to cut this down. And so you're going to need your rotary cutter and a ruler, quilting ruler. The only time I use a matching bobbin is when I'm doing freestanding lace. I might occasionally have a red bobbin or a black bobbin in case I'm stitching something and I'm seeing the bobbin thread a little bit. And that's not necessarily a tension issue, it's just high contrast. But but I never use I rarely use a matching bobbin. I'm going to say maybe not 2% of the time, 1% of the time I use a matching bobbin. You're going to be good just using a regular white green bobbin most of the time. Oh, is my machine stitching fast? So this is, I should have done a pink, huh? Oh well. The machine stitches at 1,500, I'm sorry, 1,050 stitches per minute. And I go top speed almost all the time. Where can you turn off the you know what, Cheryl? You can't, because that goes along with the voice guidance. And we went out for dinner with our brother rep last week. I think it was last week. And I talked to her about that. I go, you know what would be really nice is if in the update they turn off the posting of the next color change. So for me, maybe a hot pink would have been better, but the ruby's okay. I really like it to match. I'm a matchy kind of person. Okay, we'll let everybody finish up. That's our first hooping. Done. Finito. We'll take this over. Just keep on stitching. Don't worry about it. I know, Cheryl. You know, I've got the Avenir too, so I know all the things that you wish were changed. Those are the same things I wish were changed too. So, how are we doing? We almost there? Stitching needles. Let's just talk about the next step, and then I'll go ahead, give you guys a minute to finish up. So, next thing we're going to do, we just finished this part right here, and it says remove it from the hoop. It says to place a pin at the bottom of the piece. You can do that if you want. I never do that, because I know when we flip this over, our bottom is going to be the top. I will remind you. So if you want to put the needle down here, you can, but I will remind you that when we put it down in the next step, that this is going to be flipped right side over, and this is going to be the top. Just keep that in mind, okay? All right. So if you want, you can put a pin in there, but I'm going to take it out. We're going to trim to 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. So here, I'll get us all zoomed in so you can see it. So I have my rotating mat here. I'm going to pop this out of the hoop. Pop it like you mean it. I'm going to grab my rotary cutter, and you are going to go ahead and, just so you can see it, 1/8 of an inch. So this, you're looking right here. We're going to go, and you're going to trim 1/8 of an inch. I know I should have done a contrasting color so you could see, but just make sure you're going to just put it on the first line of your ruler, and we're going to trim that to 1/8 of an inch. Ruler down, line it up with the top point and like a point down here on the bottom. What is this? I'm going to put you over here for now. I don't need you anymore. Sorry, you might see my big old noggin get in the way, because I chose matching fabric, matching thread. So it's going to look like that. See? 1/8 of an inch. Okay? Do that all the way around. So the outermost stitch line, that's what you're cutting to. You're cutting 1/8 of an inch outside of that stitch line, so it should look like this. You guys see that? Perfect, right? Okay. Everyone got that? If you want, you can write, and you could use like a friction pen, or you can use whatever pen you want. But we could go ahead. Where are my pens? This right here, this is going to be the top where the word needles is. So if you want to remind yourself, this is going to be the top when we lay it down. Okay? Or you can put the needle in like the directions say, but needles like to end up in my fingers. I don't know what it is. They just do. Okay. Next part. You guys ready? We're going to hoop up again. So we're going to hoop up. Grab your next piece of stabilizer. You should have 2. How are we doing? You guys good? Yeah, you can use a magnet. I use my magnetic hoop all the time. You guys know I love my magnetic hoop. But today I was like, I'm just going to use my regular hoop. Let's just use that today. So this one's sized perfectly for this. You don't have to keep resizing. Pop it in. Remember, there's an arrow at the very top that should point up, and your hoop should go in this way. Like I always tell people, like a soup bowl. You don't want it to be flat. You'd be surprised how many people come in here with their hoop in upside down, where they put the inner one, they flip it over and put it in upside down. So once you're hooped up, let's grab your next piece of fabric. Actually, mine's already at the machine. You need your vinyl, you need your fold over elastic, and you need your topper. I gotta tell you a secret. I didn't use topper because I just didn't feel like it. But for your first time, until you are proficient, I want you to use your topper. And I'm looking for mine. I know I brought a whole roll of it. Where did I put it? This is what I do. You want the clear topper. It's the stuff that you use like when you're doing like a towel or something like that. Oh, here it is. It's like sitting right here. Sometimes when I panic and I'm doing a class, I start to panic when I can't find stuff and I don't see stuff that's right in front of me. So a topper. I love Hydromelt. And then I also use, Kimberbell has a topping, OESD has a topping, so this is what you need, okay? That's going to save you in the long run. Okay, let's go back over to the machine. We're going to load up our next design. Anyone need help? Is there anyone that needs any help, or we're all doing okay? Okay. All right, let's come on back over here. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to load our design. So let's do that first. So I'm going to say okay. We're going to come here to our home button. It's going to clear your screen. And now you want to go ahead and you want to select the one that does the inside. I have a lot in there. I usually don't have this much. Oh my goodness, look what's in here. So I'm going to get rid of some of this. So to get rid of stuff, you're going to touch. You need to touch this first so it highlights. This is all from, I probably loaded it like twice. And I do not like to keep this much in here. It just bogs it down. And then when you want to select, you have to deselect the button that lets you throw stuff away. Oh, look at this is all from edge to edge too. I'm just going to get rid of a little bit more and then we'll get out of here. Maybe it'll let you get caught up. I could do a select all, but I don't want to get rid of everything. How many of you want to do a Stitch Delight Dream Panel class? Those are always the best. No wonder it's taking so long. Okay, that's all I'll do for right now. All right. When you want to select a design, once you've thrown stuff away, you have to deselect this button so this goes away. And now I'm back to where I can just select the design that I want to stitch. Yes, there's a lot there. All right. This one should be the small size for the inside. So we're going to go ahead and select that. Check your size. Make sure it's going to fit into a 5x7 hoop. That's how I know that one's the smallest for sure. I'm going to go ahead and touch set. What is that? Oh, the designs that I was showing, that was for Stitch Delight, for the, that was for the Dream panel from Hoffman. I'll show it to you. I'll show it at the end of class. Here's our design right here. So go ahead and take your, we're going to go ahead and just touch embroidery. And again, I like to stitch from right here. This is where I can go backwards and forwards in case my thread breaks or something happens. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. Now I'm ready to go. I was telling somebody, even if you don't have an Avenir, you'll be an Avenir expert in no time, just from watching me stitch. Okay, we are going to slide our hoop on. So go ahead and slide on your hoop. You're like, look at all the junk she has there. Yes, there's so much stuff here. Let me get rid of it. Let me get my handy dandy extra little table that I can put all this on. Okay, first thing it wants to do, and what color should you put in? Color's not going to make a difference, although, here, let me show you the inside of mine. A contrasting color can be good. So this one I use like that seafoam green in here. So I usually pick a color that you're going to be able to see because it's going to be cuter. This one I did that same like minty green, which is really, really pretty. What's this one? This one I did like that kind of peach color. So pick a color you can see. I'm going to go ahead and my inside. I'm going to use this as my inside right here. So all my colors are going to show. I'm just going to leave the ruby in there that I have in there. I think that'll be pretty. So go ahead and do your placement line first and grab your piece that's going to be the inside. It should also already be pre-fused with your decor bond. Cheryl, how are you doing with your new tabletop? Hopefully you're enjoying that. I've got mine on too. Where are my instructions? Okay, so what we did is we hooped our stabilizer. We just did our placement stitch. We're going to place the inside fabric. And again, I got to be honest, I didn't even tape it down because it kind of holds. But I want you to flip it back this way. Make sure that you're covering your placement line. And then I want you to flip it back this way and make sure you're covering your placement line. If you are, go ahead and just stitch it down. If you want to spray it and put it down, you can. It just holds because it's beefy with that, with the decor bond. Doesn't wrinkle up or anything. I do like to have my little tool. This is my little spatula. How are we doing? You guys okay? Oh, Sharon, you should talk to Patrick so we can figure that out. All right. Center fabric over. We did that. Now it wants you to sew this step right here. It's going to sew your placement lines for your vinyl. So just go ahead and hit start. You could do a color that, now I'm going to leave my red in. My red's going to be great, especially for you guys to see. And I want you to grab your 2 pieces of vinyl. And you will need tape. I am going to use my tape for sure in this step. And I'm using my transport tape. Okay, those are going to be your placement lines right there. So this leftmost line, we're going to play our edge of our vinyl is going to go right across this leftmost line. And then we're going to put the other piece of vinyl right here on this line. I know your instructions show you 3 lines, and that's only if you're doing size large. The third line will be because you'll have 3 rows for your needles. But if you're doing size small and medium, you're only going to have 2 placement lines. So don't be confused about that, okay? All right, here we go. So grab your first piece of vinyl. You're going to lay him down. You want to make sure it extends past this line here. So whether you have a 1/2 inch or however much, if you didn't cut yours to size like I didn't, I'm going to just go ahead and cut it right now. Just so there's about 1/2 inch hanging off either side or 1/4 inch. It doesn't have to be that much. Okay. So I've got like 1/4 inch hanging over both sides. And I'm going to take a piece of tape. This is transport tape. It's my favorite. This is compliments of Poppy. Poppy loves, I'll look over and she'll have a whole roll in her mouth. And then she looks at me and she wants me to chase her. She's very naughty, but very cute. And I never get mad because I'm like, you are so cute. I can't be mad at you. Like last night, she was counter surfing. Make sure your tape is outside of this stitch line. Don't tape inside the stitch line. It doesn't really matter that much, but I'm taping outside of the stitch line. Okay? So it's going to look like that. We're going to grab our next piece. Yeah, last night she was counter surfing and she was like walking the entire counter. And I know some people get so mad at their dogs, but I go, if I was a dog, I would want to see what's on the counter. And I knew there was nothing up there. I was like, nothing up there. Go ahead and look. Momo never counter surfed until we got Poppy. He's such a rule follower. He's like the typical like firstborn, secondborn. He does a lot more naughty stuff now that she's around. Okay. So those are taped down. We're doing the size small. That's why it doesn't look quite like the picture. You only laid down 1 piece here and 1 piece here. Place the first piece. Okay. Oh, sorry. You know what? It's going to do this one first. So it did want you to lay one down at a time. I just got too excited. Okay, it's going to do the tack down. So this step is just going to tack this 1 piece down. It's going to come all the way across. It's going to stop before it goes to the next piece. All right, now it's going to sew the next one. It's going to tack that down. How are we doing? Are you guys doing okay? Let's go ahead. We're going to look at the instructions. If you need to catch up, go ahead and catch up. We're going to look here. Let's look at our instructions. So we just did this step and did the tack down. We kind of did both of them at once. And then we did this step. If you are going to be doing the large size, you're also going to do this step, which is going to tack the 3rd row down. If not, we're going to skip that part. Now it wants you to go ahead and cover your whole piece with water soluble and tape it in place. And if for some reason you don't have water soluble or you are too lazy like I was, I'm going to put it down right now because I don't want your project to get all caught up and you to have a horrible experience. Where it wants to catch is it wants to catch going back this way. And it wants to catch underneath the vinyl. And it also wants to catch right here going this way. So when you see it going this way, if you're not using it, last night when I was stitching it, I just kind of held it down when the foot was going by and I held it down here. However, I do highly recommend that you just go ahead and save yourself the frustration by putting down a piece of topping. And I'm going to cut this to size and then I'm going to lay it down. And I'm going to tape it because we don't want to deal with, we just spent all this time. We don't want it to be ruined. You're just covering over the vinyl part. Okay. Go ahead and tape it down on the sides. My dog ate my tape yesterday. Yes, they're naughty. Today we were almost late because I couldn't find my shoes. I literally, and it seems as though I can only find like either the left or the right. And there's often times where I'm running around and I'm wearing 2 slippers and they're different slippers because Poppy has stolen my shoes. Patrick sees it and he immediately like takes it and then puts it away because that's the type of person he is. I look at her running around my shoe and I go, oh my God, she's so cute. And then I go looking for my shoe the next day. All right, so I have my topper down. I'm going to go ahead and slide that back on. And let me get you a better view right there. So it just said right here to cover the project with water-soluble topping and tape it in place. This will prevent the presser foot from getting caught under the vinyl pieces during the next stitch sequence. And then now we're going to do this part right here. So the next stitch sequence to stitch the divider lines. For the for this we're going to do stitch sequence 6. So we're just going to go ahead and stitch out what's on the screen right now. Have your little pokey. Make sure that nothing's getting caught. I feel like having a stiletto is always useful. And it does. It wants to catch right under here and right under that part. Oh. I guess I should have said something. This is where it folds. Now, zippers don't go there. We're almost done, my friends. Okay, you want to do the next step? The next step, which is right here, is going to do placement lines for the your little top fabric and placement lines for your fold over elastic. So just go ahead and hit start. It's going to do both of those placement lines. Get your top border fabric, and you also want to get your fold over elastic. I'm going to use this. This should already be pre-pressed. We did that in the very beginning. There's very little that makes me angry with the dogs, except when it's 5:30 in the morning and I'm chasing around the yard like a crazy person, or if it's like a rainstorm and they're outside and they won't come. Or Poppy likes to, and this doesn't even make me mad, but she likes to be told to go to the car, and then she takes off running and runs to the neighbor's house to fence fight, but then she comes right back. And that doesn't even make me mad, unless I'm late. Okay, So those are your placement lines. Let me see if I can get you a better view of those. Let's see. Can you see them? Okay. So, to flatten and spread embroidery. Yes. Save your digits. Save your digits. So the next stitch sequence, which we do, remove the hoop from the machine and carefully tear away the water soluble. So why don't we do that first? I almost skipped that step. So I'm not even going to take it off of the machine. Well, I'll take it off a little bit. But we're going to take off the water soluble. So just go ahead and peel it away. If you have little pieces that don't come off, you can just get your tweezers, your precision tip tweezers. Hopefully I can find mine. I didn't have to do this last night because, like I said, I skipped this step. I was like, I'm not doing that. I don't feel like it. Scissors, tools. I have not been able to find my precision tip tweezers. I have a couple of pair at home. I have my Femoris, and then I also have, oh, actually, I did find my Tulas. I was so happy. And then for my serger, I always like using my, for my serger, I like to use my Baby Lock ones. This is a posable, this is like the pair that you squeeze and, let me see. I don't know if I like these as much. There's a time and a place for everything, right? Okay, get all of that off of there. All right, that looks pretty good to me. I think I got it all. Okay, what's next? Now that we did that, place fabric C over the project, right side down, with the fold towards the center. So this is, let me put my hoop back where it's supposed to go. You are going to go ahead and we're going to place fabric C. Here's my fold. The fold is going to go to your first set of placement lines. So we're going to go ahead and lay that down, center it. And the fold, you're going to do it so that the wrong side is up, but the right side that's been folded over. Was that confusing? Hopefully not. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tape this down on the right and the left. And so the fold is going right to the placement line. Those two, that first top set of placement lines. Next, yeah, make sure you put it on right, because I have one where I put it on, where is it? I'll show it to you later. You'll be like, oh, she messed that one up. All right, now fold over elastic. Now you're going to grab your fold over elastic. You want the right side up. Let me just make sure that's what it says. Place the elastic across the project, right side up, and align the elastic below the placement lines. So now you have your placement lines. Do not put it above, not like that. You're going to put it below. what's the right side of your fold over elastic? It's usually the shinier side. Some of them look like they don't have a right or a wrong. Just lay it down however you want. For me, this side is shinier. That's going to be my right side. And I'm going to put it below this set of placement lines. So go ahead. And you're going to see there's a lot. Sometimes I'll cut my fold over elastic an inch shorter than it says, because that's a lot hanging over the edges. You don't need that much. What size do you cut the elastic? So it's in your instructions. I think for this one, it says 6 inches. So if you look at your instructions, right here, it says your size. Cut elastic. For the large, the medium, and the small, 6 inches. Okay, so I'm going to lay this down. Tape outside of your... And don't stretch it. Just leave it taut. Leave it taut and don't stretch it. Tape outside of your stitch line. So you can see I'm like right below that placement line. Okay? All right. Before we start stitching, last thing you're going to do is you're going to place the stitch part 1 piece over the project right side down with the pin at the top. I didn't put a pin in, because I just wrote on it. So here, this is the right side. That goes on the top. Make sure you don't put it down like this, okay? It's going to go like this, and you're going to flip it over. I wrote top on mine, but now you just know. The needle part is going to go on the top. It's going to go near the band. All right, how do you place it? Number 1, you're going to center it to the stitch lines. So... here's my stitch line right here. I centered it to my outermost line. All right? Not this inner one, but the outermost lines. I'm going to center it to that. And then it wants this end 1/2 inch past this stitch line. So each one of these is 1/2 inch. So I just took it and I put it so that this 1/2 inch mark was on, I know that's a 1/2 inch plus 1/8 inch. That's okay. So just fold it back. Put this 1/2 inch mark on the bottom line and make sure your fabric is centered to these 2 lines. And then you'll be perfectly in there. Here I go. 1/2 inch. Lay it down. Make sure this is nice and straight, that it's covering over this side and it's covering over this side. Yes, it is. And you should be good to go. Okay? I'm going to tape it down. I love transport because it rips really easily. It's super sticky. You can use it over and over again. There's not a lot of room left and right. So make sure that when you fold this back, you're going to have an equal amount. It's just like maybe 1/4 inch on the left and the right side. And if you look at your instructions, it wants you to put 1 long piece of tape along the whole top. I don't always do that because it's really like right here and here where it goes across, but let's just do it for right now. So your instructions say place an extra piece of tape across the top edge of fabric D as shown in yellow to prevent the presser from getting caught. So you can take a whole piece and put it over the whole entire top. All right, if you want to put some on the sides, you can put some on the sides. We are almost done. You ready? Any questions? Go ahead and slide it on. All right, let's make sure we did everything right before we start stitching. So we just did the tape on the very top. Stitch the final stitch sequence to stitch the final outline I put in here new light colors. So I'm going to take out my ruby because you are going to fold that seam. You're going to fold it inside out and you don't want like a dark thread showing through. So I'm going to go back and put in that grayish that I used for the quilting in the very beginning. So I'm going to put this back in, just a lighter color that you're not going to see in the seam. Here we go. I'm telling you, when you get these done and you've like, we went pretty slow for this one, but later on, you'll get so fast with these. You know what I don't like? I feel like my thing is not, I feel like he's sideways. Let's see. No, he looks good. Just going to go with it. You know what I mean? Mine is like a little sideways. Okay, I'm just going to go with it. Because I checked, he looks good. All right, here we go. Have your little pokey with you too, just in case. This is where you want to be careful, right here. That's where he wants to get caught. And this part over here. Make sure he doesn't get caught in that fold or the fold of the band fabric too. This part right here, make sure he doesn't go underneath that fold. Guess what? We're done. We're done. All right, we're going to take it off the machine. We're going to go back to our trim area. Let me come back over here. How are you? Is everyone okay? Hopefully you're doing well. All right. We're going to pop it out. We're going to trim it down. So if you look at your instructions, it's going to ask you to do a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Yeah, you're going to want to just take off all that tape too. Just get rid of it. I'm done with this hoop because the next one we're going to do is going to be the size medium. All right. 1/2 inch. Whoop. Whoopsie daisy. Just almost dumped this whole cup of tools. All right. And that lid. Maybe my eye is going askew because I did my stabilizer askew and that's what's driving me crazy right now. So, oh, see page 7. Oh, yeah. Thank you. See page 7? Did I do something wrong? What did we do? Why am I seeing page 7? Okay, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and trim this down. We're going to do a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And you can remove all the tape too, so that's not going to be in there. Once you cut it down, it'll be easy to take it out now. Is it because the seam that I didn't put that in yet? I put it in later when we're turning it right side out. Oh, okay, got it. You were letting her know where to find those measurements? Okay. I'm like, oh my God, what did I forget? I got so nervous. Okay, 1/2 inch seam allowance. Go ahead and trim it. And then we are going to cut those corners so we can turn it inside out. I want you to heat up your iron too. Go ahead and heat up your iron. We just need a low heat, but we are going to soften up that vinyl. The vinyl can be hard and crispy and hard to turn. So we're going to use the iron to soften it a little bit. You're not going to want to soften it too much. Okay. Clip in those corners too. Just get a pair of regular scissors. I love these. Are these my Kai's? I think they're the 4.5-inch blade, or they might be the 5-inch blade, but this is like such a perfect size. And are these serrated? I don't know if they're serrated. So I like to do a double cut into my corner. Don't be corner greedy. You don't have to get right to that stitch. You see, I leave probably like a 1/16 of an inch away from it. Don't be so greedy you have to get right to that corner. You do not have to. If you do, you're going to bust right through that seam. And I do a double cut because it makes me feel like I'm fancy, like I know something. You could just do a single cut. Or a triple cut. Piece of tape still here. Guys, ready? Because now you're all warmed up. You're like, I'm ready to do the next one. Yes. But if you had this all assembly line, this would be a great gift to give away to like the gals in your sewing group or a new sewist. You could go ahead and make one of these and then give that sewist, you know, one of each type of needle. Would be really, really fun. Okay. We are going to turn this right side out. Once we turn it once, then we're going to put on our seam. That's what I always put down in my instructions. So let me look at the instructions, make sure I'm not leading you astray. We went ahead and did that. And turn the project right side out through the opening in the back, smooth out the seam, and poke out the corners. So we are going to turn it, well, we're going to soften it first. So let's go ahead because we're going to do the big turn first. So your vinyl is over here. So, and if you want to, you could use like a, let me see how warm he is. Oh, he's not warm at all. I'm going to go to number 2. We're going to go to number 2. And I might lay this down just so, you know how no-show mesh can be. Sometimes it can melt. And then I'm going to soften this up. You don't want to make it too hot, because your vinyl really literally gets almost melty. But you just want to soften it for the turn. You'd like to know what is the difference between Needle Notebook 1 and Needle Notebook 2. Hey, Lori, yes. Do you mind grabbing me the pattern for Needle Notebook 2 off the wall? Thank you. Sure. I'll show you. It'll be easier for me to show you than I'm just feeling this to see. Okay, it's getting warm. So you just want to warm it up a little bit. I'm just going to go right on it. You don't want it hot. You want it just warm. Okay. Then we're going to turn it. And you want to do it while it's warm. So go ahead and go for it. I don't want to say you do it fast, but do it fast. We're going to poke out those corners. Be ready.
This is not the needle one.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that it?
No. Needle Notebook. It says Needle Notebook. It's
right. Do we have one?
Yeah, there should be one.
Where?
On the wall with that stuff. It's not there?
Because it's not there. Oh, man.
Okay. Maybe it's on the table. Okay, hurry. Get your corners while it's warm. Poke your corners out. Okay, that's what it should look like after our first turn. Now we're going to put on our seam. Don't do it before because like it just gets, the paper comes off and then it starts to make a mess. So you should have seam in your kit. You can use the 1/4 inch or the 1/2 inch. I think we have 1/4 inch in yours, or maybe it's 1/2 inch. I'm going to grab some right now. You want to put it right on the fold. If you don't, it's going to like kind of gape a little bit. So you're going to take it, you're going to put it right on the fold, And you're going to be careful because I don't want to melt my my vinyl over here. So get your steam-a-seam out now. Okay, I don't even have, I know I have a design somewhere in the store. I don't know where it is. But here's the steam-a-seam. You either have a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch. Here's the fold. Okay, we only turned it right side, whoops, sorry. We only turned it right side out on one side. Now take your steam-a-seam. And I would change that in your notes in the direction, just because it's just the paper comes off, just all sorts of stuff. I am going to carefully, I am right to that fold, and I'm going to carefully iron it there without getting my iron on the vinyl. And you're ironing on the paper side. You have a paper side and the sticky side. It is sticky side down for those of you that have never used steam-a-seam light before. And if you want, you could take a, where's my pressing cloth? Where are you? You know what I love as a pressing cloth? I use muslin. But I have a, my goddess sheet. So it's pressed down there. You'll know it's pressed down right because when you peel away the paper, the stick will stay and the paper will come off. If it doesn't, then you didn't press it enough. Okay? Okay. Now fold this side out. Go ahead and fold it right side out. You want to push out these corners a little bit. Oh, shoot. You know what? I shouldn't have taken off the paper. I should have left it. Sorry. It's okay, though. Go ahead and push out the corners. Did you see that? I just went through the corner. I was corner greedy. I pushed too hard. Okay, it's okay. This side will be a little tougher because there's vinyl there. I'm going to warm him just so he'll get a little gooier and I can push him out. One side is just fabric. One side has vinyl. If you feel like he's not turning, you can just go ahead and warm him up a little. Don't be, if you can't get it too far, just leave it. Okay, I have my steam-a-seam right here on the seam. I'm going to pull this down. I'm going to make sure this is folded back, and then I'm going to press him. Make sure it looks good. This is a permanent. Double-sided bonds permanently when ironed. And you want it right to the edge or it'll fold back a little bit and you don't want that. And that is it. Fold it over. There is your little band. And we are done with Needle Notebook 1. And I did go right through that corner. Oopsies! It's been a long time since I've done that. I was being a little aggressive. And there's your first one. You ready for Needle Notebook 2? Where are we cutting the 1 inch from? The 1 inch? I don't think we cut 1 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/2 inch was from the outer stitch. Maybe trim from the side that says the needles, where you can see the word needles. Trim from that side. It might be easier for you to see. How'd we do? Anyone else? So the Needle Notebook 2, give me just a minute. You guys finish up. I'm going to see if I can find Needle Notebook 2 so I can show you the difference between the two.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like fulfilling something that should. Nope, that's it.
Sorry, guys. I looked. I know I had a 2 somewhere in the shop. Okay. The difference between the 1 and the 2, number 1, one size, the entire thing. So number 2 will have like small on the sides, big in the center. So it's just going to have multiple sizes in each notebook. That's all. So, because I think people bought this and then it didn't accommodate their big needles. So then they made notebook 2. So it will accommodate large and small needles all in one hooping. But for me, I'd rather have one that's all small, one that's all big. That's what worked best for me. If you go on and look at Needle Notebook 2, you will see there's samples. So you'll be able to look at the picture and you'll be able to look at the different layouts. That's it. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. Where are we cutting? Miss Nancy, did you figure it out? It was on the outside. I'm sorry if I rushed it. I'll try to take more time. We are going to do the next one. So let's tidy up a little bit. Let's clean up your little area and let's get everything we're going to need. So for this one, I'm going to be using my 7x12. Let's put this to the side. Do you like this? Do you like this mess? You're like, she's a very talented mess maker. Yes, I am. There are few that are as good as I am at making a mess. Okay, I'm just trying to see what I should get out of the area. This one, I'm going to go ahead and maybe I'm going to do this as my outside. I'm going to do this as my inside, and I'm going to do this as my band. I have options because I cut for 2. I'm going to get everything else out of the way. This should be pressed already. You should have your decor bond already fused to it, and I'm going to pull these off because I'm just going to remember what's what. But if you want to mark that it makes more sense to you, then just go ahead and mark. This is, oh my God, this one's so cute too. I wanted to show you the one that I messed up. See this? This is what happens if you put I put this in the wrong spot. This piece should have been flipped and it should have gone the other way. And then this is what it looks like if you mess it up, if you lay it down wrong, if you lay it down with the needles on the bottom part instead of the top part. This here is elastic, so you don't have to use fold over elastic. This is just regular elastic that I got too. So you could buy elastic in different colors if you don't have fold over elastic. But there's so much fun fold over elastic that you can get. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just turn this off for right now because we don't need that. Unless, oh, you know what? I'm going to heat up because I have my pieces of, these look small. Are these small? No, these are the right ones. I'm going to give these a little press to soften them up and flatten them out. I'm going to grab this first. And you're going to need 2. The only time you need 3 pieces of vinyl is if you are doing the largest size. Done! Yay! Did you love that? Aren't they so cute? Yeah, and literally, we are talking a lot. Well, I'm talking a lot during this. If I wasn't talking so much, I just think about how fast you could do these. Once you get in the swing of it, you could probably do 2 at a time as well. I am going to just, I'm going to use this as my pressing cloth. I know. You're like, that's your project. Oh yeah, it's my pressing cloth too. Just soften it. You don't want to heat it, but he's still a little. I want it to be so that they lay flat. They're malleable. I'm taking on my vinyl to lay flat. You don't want it to be so squishy. It's like gummy and stretchy, but. Okay, perfect. Ooh, they're a little gummy and stretchy. All right, but they're nice and flat now. So I have my vinyl pieces nice and flat. And then let's go ahead and hoop up. So I'm going to be in my 7x12 hoop. And I brought my roll of no-show. What is this one? Is this? Yeah, this is the Kimberbell light mesh cutaway is what I'm using. I'm going to run it this way. I'm leaving it on there. And where are my magnets? It'll just lay to the back. Graydon's listening to George Michael. So I have like that song in my head. George Michael, I loved him. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this on my machine just the way it is. Sometimes I'll leave it like that, just on the roll. Hang on. I'm going to slide it on. You guys aren't seeing this, but... Then I have all my fabric. So you've got your inside, outside, and band. Oh, and I have my 2 pieces of vinyl. We're just using 2 for this. And then you also need your fold over elastic. And for this one, it calls for page 7. Now I know what page it is, Debbie. Page 7 is 7 inches. 7 inches, and I'm going to use this one this time. So cute. It's got like, probably doesn't really go, but I think it's so cute. And we're ready. Off to the races. I'm going to go a little bit faster with this one because we walked you through the first one. You guys kind of know the drill. I'm going to just be using this little piece of elastic. Okay. Let's go to the machine. Let's load her up. You like that view? Probably not. Let's come back over here. You probably don't like that view either. Okay, here we go. I am... Sorry. Okay. There we go. I think we're good now. Let me grab my instructions. All right, we're doing 3 clicks. If you are using just regular Schmetz needles all the time, you do not have to increase the size of this. But if you want to make one that's going to be a little bit bigger, we're going to increase the size. So I'm going to go to my home button to just clear my screen. I'm going to go back into embroidery. I feel like we're tilted. Is that better? There we go. Okay. Pocket for design database transfer. Will we be able to rewatch? Oh, absolutely. Nancy, these get posted automatically on YouTube. So it takes a couple hours to render, but it'll go up onto YouTube and you can work at your own pace. You can slow it down. You can do 1.5 speed. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to go to this pocket right here. Is that blurry or is it just my eyes? And then we're going to do the size medium. First thing we're going to do is we're going to stitch the part that has the needle on it. The words needles. Go ahead and set it. Let's choose our hoop size. Because we have that feature, I'm going to go ahead and use it. It's going to be up here in your settings button. So I'm going to go to my settings button. I'm going to choose my 7x12 hoop. It's going to be this one. You could use it 8x12. I think this bumps us out of the 6x10. I think it's too big for the 6x10 to start with. Yeah, I mean, is that silly? 6.01. So you could do 1 click down. You know what? You can't because it might make it so the needles aren't going to fit. But if it was 6 point, even that 0.02 is going to bump you out of the 6. Oh, you know your 6x10 hoop is really 6 1/4. It's really 6 1/4 by 10 1/4, so it probably does fit into your 6 by 10 if you're just going to leave it at that size. I'm going to be making it bigger, so it will definitely bump me out of the 6 by 10 hoop. I'm going to put that up because now you can see we fit. So if you're doing the regular size or your machine, the biggest hoop is 6 by 10 or the 6 1/4 by 10 1/4, just do the size. It's going to fit perfectly into your 6 by 10 hoop. So just leave it the size it is. Unfortunately, let's see, you could maybe make it go 1 click up. Yeah, 1 click up, you're still going to be in your 6 by 10. We're going to do 3 clicks up. So you're going to see it's going to bump us out of the 6 by 10. That was 1 click bigger. Here, I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to reset it because I haven't been walking you through it. What if you want to make this bigger? If you're not going to make it bigger, go ahead and just do it in your 6 by 10 hoop. You can still play. If you're going to make it bigger like I'm making it bigger, I'm going to go to my size button right here. Yours might say the word size. Mine just shows the buttons. And I'm just going to equidistantly click it up 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And you're going to see that now we're at 6.37 by 10.47. And it's outside of the 6 by 10 hoop. So what I'm using is I am using the 7 by 12 hoop. Hopefully that's not too confusing for you. All right. I'm also leaving my stabilizer on. So I'm going to take my design and I'm going to move it all the way down to the bottom. Which, I mean, what's it going to save me? Like an inch? But who cares? Might as well save that inch to stabilizer. So I'm not changing anything else. I am just going to move it down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and say okay. And on this screen, oh no, I'm going to say embroidery. That was my sizing screen. I'm going to go ahead and touch the word embroidery. Did you guys see that? Let me back it up a little bit. Back it up. How about now? See it? And now I'm going to go ahead. I'm on my layout screen. I'm going to go layout, move, and I'm just going to scoot it down. That's all. Yes, Patrick.
Lunch.
Yes, please.
Do you have preference? You're like Asian?
You choose. How do I find that page on the machine? Are you talking about the settings page? Yours will have a piece of notebook paper. On the Avenir and the Radiance, it's going to be a little gear. On all the other machines, it'll look like a piece of notebook paper, and it's either going to be on the top or it might be on the bottom. And it looks like a little dog ear piece of notebook paper. It has a little fold in the corner. So you'll just touch that, and that's where you go to your settings. If you have your embroidery arm on, it'll take you directly to your embroidery settings. Okay? All right. I'm ready to stitch. Ready? Go ahead, and I'm going to choose the color that I'm going to use for my quilting, which is, I brought a thread that matches this perfectly. It is Isacord, I mean, isn't this pretty? Isacord 4250, and that's what I'm going to put in to do my placement line and my quilting. I'd recommend just putting whatever you're going to do your quilting with in right now. So, let's come on over here. Oh, and you know I do like this screen this screen right here, where you go forward and backward stitches, just in case your thread breaks. You do not have to go to that screen. Let me go ahead and change out my thread. How are we doing? We good? Anyone need help? I'm here. Ask your questions. I'm good at getting you where you need to be. Just ask. Whoop. Okay. Here we go. Let me thread her up. Where do you find to rethread? Under edit, hit your edit button. There's your buttons. And then there should be one that says size. It's on your main edit page, not in your layout page. You cannot size in your layout page. You have to do it from your main edit page. I'm going to go ahead and do my placement line. Again, you can spray if you want. I'm not going to spray. home sewn? We're going to start that on Monday. Home sewn too. And I was looking at the calendar because Autumn Acres, I think the auto ship is June 10th. And I was like, oh my goodness. We're going to have to go even faster with home sewn too. We might have to do 2 in one day. Might have to do a morning and a night. All right, you're going to grab the outside fabric. Outside. For me, I'm doing this as my outside. So whatever's going to be the outside. If you're directional, I would have your direction go this way in line with where it stitches out needles. Or you could have your direction go this. You could either have it, you could do either. It really doesn't matter. Whatever makes more sense to your brain. So I think you could do either of those. Okay. Lay this down. Make sure you check, fold your fabric back. Make sure you're covering your placement line. Where am I up here? Whoop, I'm barely covering it down here. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Here we go. That looks good. Looks good. I have an equal amount on both sides. All right. I'm going to do the tack down and the quilting. Just hit start. Trish, did you find your size? It's on your main edit page. And your main edit page is has most of your editing options. I think, do you have the Luminaire? I forget what you have. It's your non-layout page. Whoops. Ooh, something fell. Mine is scooted all the way down to the bottom. I moved it, just so you know. Okay, now it's doing my quilting. Just let it quilt. It's time for a sip of coffee. And then have your color picked out that you're going to be using for the stitching. I don't know. I'm either going to do this. Oh, that's really sweet. Okay. Or I could do this. Can't decide. Or I brought this. Oh no, that's too matchy-matchy. I think I'm going to go pink. I'm doing pink. How are we doing? Can I help anyone? Don't let me forget, when we put in the next piece, we have to do 3 clicks up to match. And yeah, you could just do the regular size. Trish, have you never sized anything? You're going to do it on the next one. I want you to size. That's your challenge of the week. It seems like that little color there. Oh, you know what's in there too? A lavender. I'll just do the pink. Michelle, how are you doing? You getting ready to do some stitching? I know you're getting all your supplies. Let me get you a better view. Here we go. Okay, let's go ahead and put in your next color. It's going to be whatever color you're using to stitch out needles. Needles! I needed a new medium size, so this is good. I'm going to put my pink in. I kind of like that, there's like a little flower there that reminds me of haze. It's kind of like a periwinkle. You know, Kimberbell's color haze. Looks like that to me. Here we go. And then we're going to take this out. We're going to trim it to 1/8 of an inch all the way around. We'll hoop up, and then we'll do the vinyl side part. Make sure you have whatever thread color you're going to use for the inside, okay? Pick that out right now so you're ready to go with that. To make it bigger, you don't have to make it bigger. You might just use little needles all the time. And by little needles, I just mean the ones that come in the little pieces. That is fine. Totally fine. Oh, this is so sweet. I know I should have done purple, huh? Or I should have done that periwinkle. I'm looking at it thinking periwinkle, periwinkle. Easy project, isn't it? I feel like there's just a little hints that you want. Like I say, don't put that seam on until the very end. Don't do it in the very beginning. That decor bond, either use your heat press if you don't have a heat press. Make sure that you're using a clapper, a wool mat, a clapper. I love lavender. So when I was a kid, when I was 12, I used to babysit for, God, I can't even remember her last name. I know her last name was Turkington. And they had a beach house. And what was the little girl's name? Isn't that awful? I can't remember her name. Her room was all lavender. And I just remember being like so jealous, being like, oh my goodness, if I could have a room that was all lavender, that would be such a dream come true. And it was very, do you guys remember Laura Ashley? It was very Laura Ashley, like just very floral, and it had, you know, matching bed covers. I didn't have anything like that growing up Korean. Like we didn't have anything that looked that pretty and that nice. And but I remember that room, and it was lavender, and it was so pretty. Cute. Very, very cute. Okay, guess what? We're done with this one. So we're going to take it off, and let's go over to our hooping area. here I am. We are going to go ahead and totally trim this down. Are we back over here? You guys see what I see? Okay. We're going to do another hooping. Okay, remember, you're going to trim this, again, it's going to be 1/8 of an inch outside of that outermost stitch line. And it's nice to have, and you don't have to do, your quilting could show. If you want the quilting to be showing, like for instance, this one I have it totally showing, it's going to be way easier to fussy cut if you see those lines, because that's also going to be the color of your outermost stitch. And I mean, you're going to see some of these I did like a matching color, and sometimes I did a total contrasting color. So up to you. It doesn't make a difference. Whatever makes your heart happy. That's like this one. I did the quilting stitch in the same color that I did the needles. So different strokes for different folks. It is a little harder to see if it's in that same color, so be careful when you're trimming. And I'm going to trim here first so that this thing that I have attached. Okay. 1/8 of an inch all the way around. I mean, I think we were just lucky to have beds. That was like a big step up. But even now when we go to Korea, like, depending on the house you're in, you're sleeping on the floor. My son especially loves it. He said he doesn't want a bed in his house. He wants like just a futon that he uses. He's so funny. He just loves being half Korean. Okay, again, if you want a reminder, you can go ahead and mark this on the back side that this is the top, or you can just remember, needles, when you stitch, go on the bottom, but when you lay it down later, it's going to be on the top. This is going to go up to the top part of your hoop, all right? So write it down if you want. If you want to do it like the instructions, they say to put a pin in it. Let's hoop up again. Where are my littles? My littles, my littles. Was it Sherry Turkington? Maybe that's her name. It'd be so nice to see her now. I wonder what she's doing, right? Would it be nice to, like, pick out some people from your past? You go, where are they now? What are they doing? She was a nice girl. They moved. Probably when I was in middle school or high school. It was my first babysitting job. I was more like a playmate. And I remember I got paid $2 an hour. Did you just say that, Lori? Lori goes, that's a lot. Lori, how much was your first babysitting job? What? 50 cents. Mine was that was like 1982. Okay, here we go. You guys hooped and ready to go for this one. You need your inside. Now you need your inside. You need your fold over elastic, and you need your vinyl. So here are my two pieces of fold over elastic, And then my vinyl, I cut it, I saw it over here. And of course your topper. There, fold over elastic and your topper, which will make your life so much better using it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and slide this onto my machine. Let's go machine. We're going to start stitching. Let's load our design. And I want you to have picked out your color that you're going to be using on the inside. I'm going to be using this one right here. Alrighty. Loading of the design. Let me see. Image control. Here we go. You guys ready? How are we? Purple and white. Aw, Cindy, sounds like you had a great room. Anna Marie said she got paid $1 for babysitting. That sounds like the big bucks. You know how much my daughter gets paid, like $20 an hour to babysit now. $20. Okay, I'm going to go to the home button to clear my screen. That's going to start you off fresh. And I'm going to go ahead and say okay. Let's go into embroidery. Now we're loading the design that has the little vinyl, the organizer part. Yeah, because she just told me she wasn't making a ton of money this summer, and then she talked about babysitting. I was like, you might as well. It's good money. So it's going to be 5.54 inches by 10.06. You can go ahead and leave it if you want. That will fit into your, oh, I have a thread on this underside. That will fit into your 6 1/4 by 10 1/4 hoop. I'm going to go ahead and hit set. I already have my 7 by 12 outline on here that I'm leaving. I'm going to go into edit. So, Miss Trish, I want you to watch this. Here, this is your edit. Right now it shows your color list. If you touch it again, shows your editing options. If you touch it again, back to your color list. They're kind of one on top of the other. And as you hit the word edit, it will bring one to the front and one will go to the back. So I'm going to go edit, and this is my size button. On your Luminaire, it's going to say the word size. On the Avenir and Radiance, it's going to show you the picture. So I'm going to touch the picture. And we're doing 3 clicks to match the 3 clicks that we did in the other one. So this will do it equidistantly, proportionally. 1, 2, 3. Okay? No worries, Penny. It's recorded. You're going to be able to watch it later on. All right, so we're 3 clicks to match the 3 clicks from before. We're going to go ahead and say okay. This is the size, 5.87. by 10.66. It's not exactly the same size as the other one. Don't worry about it. It shouldn't be. It didn't come out that way. All right, I'm going to go embroidery. And I'm just going to put in the color that I'm using for all the stitching, which is going to be this really, really pretty color right up here. Let me go ahead and thread her up, and then we're going to go ahead and start stitching. Any questions? Can I help anyone? Are you good? All right. I know if you ask that question, that means somebody else missed it too. Sometimes I forget that sometimes people just like they load their design, they just stitch it. I get it. I get it. All right. Placement line first. Go into your placement line. If you feel like you need to spray or tape this piece down, you can. I'm just going to lay mine down. If you have directional fabric for the inside, we didn't talk about this, but you're going to put your directional fabric, like let's say this is words, this is a book, and your words are going across this way, and this is the top of the book. You're going to lay it down like this, because the vinyl is going to start here on the bottom. So directional fabric, if this is your fabric, you're going to turn it to the right. If this is upright for you, turn it to the right and lay it down. I didn't mention that before. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this down. And when you put it down, always fold it back. Make sure you have an equal amount of fabric left to right. Fold it back this way too. Make sure you have an equal amount of fabric top and bottom. I don't at all. I need to scoot this down. I'll scoot it up the tiniest bit. And now it's perfect. And, oh, is mine directional? No. I was thinking this is up for me. I'm going to put it this way. Oh my God, I watched the best show yesterday. I watched this show and it was all about, I feel like there's so much doom and gloom. We're going to do the tack down. So much doom and gloom. And this show was, I'm like such an animal lover, nature lover. And it was all about, it was like success stories with animals and habitats. And I was like, I felt so good after I watched it. So it was really, really, I went to bed feeling happy. And if you're bumping up the size of your design, you definitely want to bump up the size of your fabric a little bit. So make it a little bit bigger. Cindy, yeah, I want you guys to understand your machines for sure. Okay, what's the next step? Oh, the next step is going to be the placement lines. So just go ahead and hit start again. It's going to do the placement lines for your vinyl. Get your vinyl. We'll see you later, Miss Sue. And you want to get your tape? We're going to tape the vinyl down. I think, what were your vinyl pieces supposed to be? I think like 12 inches. Let me look. Vinyl! Your vinyl. Oh, 12 inches by an inch and a half. Uh-oh. Oh, no, my pieces are short. Hang on, these are the right ones. Wouldn't that be awful? I'm just going to go ahead and have it, no, we'll do one at a time. You have to do one at a time here. Where are my 12-inch pieces? Oh, here they are. Sorry, give me a second. These are my long ones. Okay, hang on. It was going too perfectly, right? We needed a little bit of Jeanne didn't have everything ready. Here are my pieces. I'm just going to give them a little warmer upper so they lay flat. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm making my vinyl lay flat, my big pieces. I didn't realize I grabbed the littles. Okay, we're good. All right, it's going to do one at a time. So you got to lay them down. You got to lay them down separately. You know how the other ones I had you tape them down at the same time? So we're going to lay one down, have it hang off the edge about 1/4 of an inch, tape it, and then we're going to put the other one down. And I think in the instructions it said to cut it 12 inches. 12 inches. Those pieces were like 9 inches. Tape it outside of your stitch line. You're not going to see the other one. The other one's outside of your view, but you get the gist. Okay, next piece. And you should have plenty to make. I mean, I had enough. If I had cut it properly, I think I would have had enough to do my size large shoe. But with my 3 fat quarters, I cut down, I cut 2 mediums and 2 smalls. And then I had enough to cut the large, just the outer, or I can't remember if it was the inner. And I was like, oh, if I had only swung my fabric around the other way. So just a hint, just always cut your biggest pieces first. So I should have just cut a large and then figured it out. Okay, those are down, but it's going to only sew this one on. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit start. Always have your little pokey thing ready just in case you need it. And you might want to just make sure this stays to the left and doesn't get pushed over. Which mine did. Mine actually moved over a little bit, so be careful with that. Hang on. Whoops. Mine all got pushed over, so it barely caught right here. Be careful, because I was not paying attention and my vinyl was getting stitched on. It was pushing it over. So go ahead and just make sure that you're paying attention and that that vinyl is staying right on the placement line. I'm just going to leave mine. But I don't know if you can see, it just started to go askew and it just started moving over. It caught it right here, but barely. So I'm just going to leave it. I think it's going to be okay with the pieces that sew it down. Okay, you're going to get your piece of topper. And we're going to put our topper down now. Should I redo this? I'm just going to leave it. But that did go askew. Be careful. Yeah, that could be it. That my thing wasn't big enough because you know, it's not that much bigger. It's a little bigger, but not that much bigger. Hey, how are you, Miss Pam? We're making needle notebooks.
Oh, I didn't know if you were on the phone or what.
I'm live feeding.
Oh.
Aren't these cute? Here's the little. Isn't that sweet? Okay, get your tape. You're going to tape down your topper. It will make your life better in the long run. Did you have a question I can help you with?
Yeah. I wanted to know more about this. Scan and cut. And receive. Should I have Patrick?
Yep. Grab Mr. Patty Cakes. This is like such a big old piece. I taped it down in 2 spots. I'm just going to leave it just like that. Okay, you ready? Did I do that right? Was I supposed to tape that down? Look at me going rogue. I do one and I think I'm an expert. All right, let me turn to the directions just to make sure. We did the vinyl down. Yes, you're covering the whole project, and now it's going to stitch the dividers. And you just want to have your little stiletto or something just to make sure nothing gets caught. fix that. Oh, you know what? If I wanted to fix it, I would have had to pull the stitch out and just get a new piece of vinyl. I think I could have stitched on that vinyl again if I wanted to, but the vinyl, and this is going to be, of course, exaggerated, but as it was stitching, it kind of went like that, and it went askew. So it just caught it on the very end. If I was at home and I wasn't live feeding, I would have unstitched. I would have just pulled the stitch out all the way down to the bottom. That gets kind of, the very bottom gets sewn into the seam. So I wouldn't have cared if it was like perforated and had some holes in it, but I would have taken it and straightened it out again and paid better attention, which I wasn't doing. But these are going to stitch it down. It was really right here at the very, very end that it wasn't stitched down. So, I mean, maybe this one will come out, but I still think it'll be okay. Are you excited to do these again? This is just a fun project. This would be a good one to take like on a retreat with you. You could just grab all your scrap. Imagine just grabbing all your scrap pieces where you have little bits and pieces of like a fat quarter, and you can just put them together. This would be a good scrap buster for your larger scraps. Or it's really fun to just grab a fat quarter bundle and make these, because everything goes together and you're just going to be picking out colors and just laying it down. All right. This is where we pull everything off now? Now it says so. We just did this. And now it wants you to do the little placement lines. And then we're going to remove the hoop and carefully tear away the water-soluble topping. I'm going to do the placement lines just with the same color. And now we don't have that much to do. You need your band. So make sure you grab the band. That's going to go on the very top or bottom, whatever you want to call it. You need the piece. You need this piece right here that we stitched out the words needles on. So grab that. Where's my band? Where's my band? Where's my band? Oh, here it is. Got my band. Got my top. Where is my fold over elastic? Where are you at? Got my fold over elastic too. Okay, let's go ahead and remove our, we're going to remove this. It's much better to just get rid of that topper than it is to be dealing with your machine getting stuck on the vinyl. It makes it so worry-free. I have a couple of pieces left. Just a couple. So just grab whatever didn't get pulled off. And I think we are good. A little bit right here. Okay, this is so cute. This fabric's so adorable. All right, you are going to lay down your band. So let's do the band first. Don't forget, your band is going to go. There's your placement lines. So the fold, you want this turned this way so the wrong side is up. And the fold is going to go above the place, well, touching those placement lines from the top. Okay? And tape them down. Tape. Where did I put 2. Good thing I have multiple things of tape. How are we doing? Can I help anyone? And tape over here. Okay, fold over elastic time. Grab your fold over elastic below these lines, right side up. Mine obviously has the right side up because it has a print. Has like little stars on it. Right side up below the lines, below the placement lines. Don't go above. Okay. And just make sure it's taut, but don't stretch it. Don't completely stretch it out. Now you want the piece that we stitched out in the beginning. Needles are on the top. Flip it over. Fold it back to that first set of, oh, that's going to be a little big, right? Well, that should be proportionally right, though, don't you think? I'm going to fold it back to that first set of lines, the quilting lines, and I'm going to line that up with the bottom edge. And then I'm going to make sure I have an equal amount outside of both of the left and right lines that are going up on the edges. Okay, I'm going to get some tape too. It's time to tape. Oh, look at you, Trish. You're already done? Oh my God, you're so fast. I'm sorry. I'm slow. Okay, I'm going to fold that down, tape it down, and tape it on the sides. Okay, and then on the top, fold it back and just check and make sure you've got an equal amount left and right. Well, I have way more on the right side than I have on the left side. I'm going to leave it. I could take it off and recenter it, but I'm going to leave it. So I'm going to put where you need the tape. Let's just get this straight. On the top part, I would put it right here and then above this fold too. So it doesn't catch either of those. So we can just put one big piece down. Because this is where it's going to come over and then want to scoop. So you don't have to have it. It doesn't have to go all the way across. But have it covering the edge of this fabric, the needles fabric, and the fold or the edge of where this is folded back. You don't want the take it off. This is what, right here, make sure the tape's covering both of those pieces because you don't want it to scoop underneath. I'll show you a close-up of that, Miss Julia. Okay, I'm going to slide it off and we'll do a little close-up of this. All right here. So this top piece, you can't see it right now, but you should do it with the wrong side up. The fold is here, and I put the fold right on. There's the little placement line. I don't know. Can you see that? Right there. So the folded edge should go right on the placement line. The right side is down, and that's lined up on the placement line. The fold is going to be on both of those placement lines. There's the placement line right there. Can you see that? Did that make sense, Miss Julia? Can we... Oh, you can't hear me? Can you guys hear me? I didn't change anything. Lila can't hear me either. How about now? Can you hear me now? I didn't change anything, so I'm not really sure what happened. Do I need to reset? How about now? Can you hear me? Okay, I'm going to take off my tape. Take off your tape. Still no sound. Hello? I'm showing sound on my side. Let me see. How about now? Can you hear me? Sound is good. It sounds like some of you have sound and some of you don't. I think you could leave and then come back again. If when in doubt, reset, restart. But I think some of you have sound and some don't. I can hear. Okay. All right. I'm going to take off all my tape. You just don't want the tape in there. We are going to like soften it up so we don't want the tape to melt. So just go ahead and remove all the tape. We're going to take it out of the hoop. Get rid of all of it. So, Miss Carolyn, you'll have to just restart. Restart. Leave. I would leave the live feed and then come back again, which you can't hear me say. Hey, Graydon? Miss Graydon? Hang on. Let me add a note. Okay. Okay, we're coming back over here. So I would, yeah, if you can hear, I would have you leave the live feed and then come back again. I feel like that happened before with something else. So we are done. Well, we have to press and cut and do all of that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the hoop. Taking it out. Yeah, sorry, I don't know, but half the people can still hear and half the people can't, which makes me go, it is a connection thing with some people. So I would just leave the live feed and then just log off of the live feed and then log back on again, and hopefully that'll reset. So here we go. Where's my cutting mat? Here's our cutting mat. 1/2 inch. This time you're going to trim to 1/2 inch. What design is this? Looks like fun. This is Needle Notebook 1. There is a 1 and a 2. I like 2 as well, but I prefer 1. Because then you have to really be planned like, oh, I'm going to put these size needles in this side. And I'd rather have all small or all big. So I'm going to cut this down to 1/2 inch all the way around from the side that has the words needles on it. It's easier to see. And I am not going to press as aggressively this time. I went right through the corner of my other one. I was thinking I would give these away in the live feed, but are you going to be like, oh, great, look, she sent me something that doesn't have a corner pushed out well. Okay. From this side, I'm going to cut the corners. Don't go too close. Tape. More tape. We're going to warm it up. Make sure your iron's warm. We're going to warm it up to turn it for the vinyl in those corners. And you heard Trish say it was much easier to turn this one. It's going to be much easier when it's bigger. The bigger one you're working with, you've got some more room. Get your steam-a-seam. We're not going to put it on yet. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? Did I answer all your questions? I know, these are so fun. They're so fun. Okay, I always like to look to see where my my vinyl is, and it's on that side. And I usually do like to just lay a piece of fabric down on top of this, and usually I have muslin back here. How come I don't have any? Oh, but I did find my goddess sheet. Maybe we'll use the goddess sheet. I want to just warm it up a little bit. I like that vinyl to be warm and not like all crisp and hard when you're turning it. Okay, let's turn. Work fast. We're going to do one full turn, and then we'll put our steam-a-seam down. I like 12 gauge vinyl. It's like my favorite for this kind of stuff. Sorry, I'm holding it towards me. Okay, point turner. Not too aggressive. Okay, that's one turn. Is that so cute? Oh no, I did do it right. I was like, is that the right direction? All right, before we turn the second one, we're going to put our steam-a-seam on, and let's just leave the paper. We'll pull the paper off later. Where's my row of steam-a-seam? There's the fold right here. This you can just rip. And you want it right on the edge. And it's paper on one side, stick on the other. Make sure you're ironing on the paper side. Got to go up a little bit. I haven't been looking at any of your comments. I'm focused. Eye on the prize. Okay, my iron had to heat up a little. I'm going to leave the paper. Last time I took it off, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. All right, you're going to fold this over. Then we'll pull off the paper. Turn your corner. You just don't want that stick exposed. If you put it on in the very beginning, the paper falls off. And this is, you got to be a little more careful here. I think this is the corner I went through. Gentle, slow. This one will be a little harder because there's some vinyl in that corner. Okay, ready? Now I'm going to go ahead and pull off the paper, and then we'll stick it. I think that's the best way. Okay, you ready? Position it. Make sure it's right where you want it to be. Before you press it down. That looks great. And I'm going to go ahead and press it down. Make sure your iron's a little bit hotter for this. And you're going through a double layer. So make sure you press it well. Oh my God, is that so cute? We're going to fold them over. Pull this back. And there is Needle Notebook blown up a little bit. Is that so sweet? He's so sweet. And then you open it up and you're like, oh my goodness, look at all my big needles. Look at our needle mess. We have a needle explosion in here. So now these should be the perfect size to fit these in here, where they're not going to like slide out. And then the other one, this one here, we can put the little smaller needles. Maybe these will be for this store. And I'll make some more this weekend. There's some more fabric. And then we could get rid of this messy little basket of needles, and then they'll all just be in here. So here's the Class A. Here's some more. We could combine these. Oh, that's serger needles. ELX705s. And that's it. How did you guys do? Hopefully you did okay. Aren't these like so sweet? Don't you just love this? Oh my God, they're so cute. They're so cute. Just adorable. Should I give this set away in the live feed? Will you hate it because I poked the corner out right here? We'll give those away on the live feed. All right. Anyone have any? Okay, so Trish asked, where can you post pictures? Go to our A1 Sew Along group on Facebook. That's usually where people will post pictures. Would love to see your needle notebooks. And yeah, if you want the design, we are sold out of the design. But what I'll do is I'll send you the small and the large, and then I'll send you the hard copy with the redemption code. We have them on order. And I think they said it was going to be about 2 weeks before those come in. So, but I'll send you the first 2 sizes if you order the design, and then I'll send you the last size. I'll send you your redemption code for the last size when those come in. And yeah, that was it. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you had fun. Hope you'll go ahead and make the large size. This is what the large looks like in comparison. So this is the small, the medium, and large. Super fun project. Hope you enjoyed it. I had a ton of fun. This will just automatically get posted onto Facebook. I'm sorry, not Facebook. On YouTube, you'll be able to find it there. We'll add all the supply lists and everything to our Sew Along video tab on our website. And that's it. I will see you guys later. Have a great weekend. Bye.